And we are live. All right. Hello. Today it is midnight. It's 12:10. And I tried to schedule this for I think 12:10, but I must have screwed up because nobody's here. So anyway, they're probably thinking it's some other time. And I don't know how to I'm not quite sure. I think I'll just wait here for a minute. I know what I can do. It always works. I was in Scientology for 30 years. And in 2000, I escaped out and they declared me a suppressive person. Now, before they declare someone a suppressive person, they're supposed to do all these different things. Hey, hi, Wolf Machine. How are you? Good to see you. You're supposed to do a whole bunch of things before they declare you suppressive. They don't do any of that anymore. David Miscavige just threw that out the window, and now you're declared suppressive. Hey, D Flawless, hi. So it's kind of pathetic because you don't ever get to tell your story. Hi, Born Ancient. That's a cute name. Hi, Janie B. How are you? Yeah, good morning. Hey, love it. Please hit the like on your way in. Thank you for reminding them. That's good. That's good. So I was just telling them about being declared suppressive, and you're supposed to, in Scientology, there's a whole bunch of steps that are supposed to be done in ethics. And then at the worst, if you can't sort it out, they declare you suppressive. And Hubbard used to have a thing where he'd say, don't just declare someone, hi, my Alaska, don't just declare someone suppressive. Try to see if you can work it out. Or the parent, they decided my mother was suppressive. Why? Because I have epilepsy. They took me off my medicine. My mother had a heart attack about it, not literally, but she was really ticked off. And so, of course, who's the person that's angry about it? My mom. So she must be the suppressive person causing you to have epilepsy, which is insane, but that's how it works. So anyway, that was Hubbard's thing. Was the last thing was to declare someone as to declare them and disconnect from whoever. But I never did that with my mom. I just did a thing called Good Roads and Fair Weather, where you just kind of talk about. Thank you, Janet Smith from Kentucky. Hi, D Flawless. Hi, SSS. All right, from the UK. All right, cool. Okay, we're rolling. That's good. So tonight, first of all, I wanted to thank a couple of people. I don't know if they're actually here. TKK. I don't think so. I don't think they are. But Casey Knight sent me this. Look at this. It's a tripod. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I'm going to definitely use it. It'll definitely be a help. I'm very sad, Tori. I had to have a beautiful dog. Oh, I'm really sorry about that, Janie. I know that's the hardest thing in the world. And as far as gays, no, they do not accept gays. You're right, Anthony. I was involved in Scientology not that long ago, and they let me know the further up the bridge I went that I would no longer be gay. I was called into ethics for being gay. It's true, but at least they said that to you. See, I know people that that do that. No, wait, just a second. Okay, hang on. I'm going to get rid of this person because this person came on to, or someone came on and said the same thing. Or I'll just ask. I think you got it. Okay, good. Thank you. Anyway, they came on to Laura's show. She did a show singing, and they did the same thing, and it was really icky. And I was like, those people are not going to be on my site at all. So good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Love it. I appreciate that. Anyway, she got me this tripod, and I need it because it's one of those things you can set on the ground and then put your camera on it. And it can just keep going instead of me holding it, which is not that conducive, So anyway, we'll see. And the other person I wanted to thank was Chi, because she got me the megaphone and I used it last night. I brought it for the first time and used it, and it's really cool. It's really, really, it can be soft, it can be loud. It's really, really great. So thank both of you. Anyway, as far as Scientology and gays, no, it's actually a really bad scene. And the reason why I mentioned it, I think it was about a year ago, maybe two, I don't know, it was a while ago, but they said Scientology welcomes the gays. And I have a few friends that are gay, and I called one of them and said, look, this is what they're saying. Can you please get this spread around the gay community that 100% they do not they don't welcome gays. They don't. They cost a lot of money, and he did, and it was really great. But I know them, and you can tell they're really desperate. I mean, by these swattings and just different things they're doing, they're kind of creepy. So I just thought I'd do this and to again warn people that are gay. I mean, it costs millions of, my friend, I can't even imagine. One of them is still in. And if you happen to be listening to this, please come out. It's like there is a wonderful life out here, believe it or not. And you don't have to stay, pretending you're not gay, or whatever. I mean, that community is so hostile. I know it from medicine because I'm in the same category, because LRH said that all homosexuals are 1.1, which is covert hostility. And anyone with a neurological illness is 1.1. So epilepsy, I'm in the same category. And I know how they treat you, and it's awful. And it's just like no one should ever have to go through that. So do not waste a dime. I mean, I know one of my friends, he's dead now, but he gave them $1 million trying to fight, trying to go through review and get corrected and all the other things. And obviously it didn't work, and he ended up dead way too young. And he was a wonderful artist too. So anyway, if I can help one person who is gay thinking maybe I should do Scientology, don't waste a dime on it. Don't give them your name. Don't give them your address. Don't give them any money. And don't for a second think they're going to help you, because they won't. They don't care about you. If anything, the only reason why they welcome the gays is because they realize, God, these guys have, and women have a lot of money. They have a lot of connections. They're upstat, right? So let's get them in, but the sad thing is they don't care at all about them. They just want the money and connections. That's it, and bodies in the shop. So it's very similar, very, very similar to the African-American community, where they're also trying to rope those guys in. And I'm always telling them, don't do it. A lot of people, luckily, a lot of the African-American community are very sharp, and they're like, not going to do it. Same with the gays. They're like, no, we're not going to go there. Don't worry about it. But you never know, because I know 17 young people who've taken their own lives, who are all in Scientology, wanted to get out, couldn't get out. They're not allowed to go see any kind of a therapist or anything. So they're just kind of trapped, and they know if they leave, they'll lose all their friends, probably their family, and it's easier to take your life. It isn't really. Don't ever think about it. I mean, you might think about it, but don't do it, because it really has a ramification that I learned from one of my son's friends who shot himself to death. And the ramifications of one person, you think it's just going to be you, but it's not. It goes on and on and on forever. I mean, it's an awful thing, and it's not a good solution for anyone. So anyway, there you go on that. So now let me ask you guys, if in DOA, I think is up in Sacramento, right? Tonight? I think he is. And I met Saul. He was up there with DOA, so I got to meet him. Let me see if he's here. Hi, Sophie. Yeah, no one should have to feel like that. I know, it's awful. It really is. Don't worry about, hi, Casey Knight. You're the one that I was showing that I got my thing. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. It was a big surprise for me. So thank you very, very much. Yeah, Jessica gave it to me last night because we sent it to her, or Casey sent it to her. And so we were out just kind of hanging out last night over at the complex, and it started out with Jessica, Chris, and then Danny came in from out of town. He arrived. So that was good to see him. We were all happy he made it and he was healthy and good. And then Streets came. So that was fun. He came on his little bike, so that was cool. And then a bunch of other people. So it ended up being kind of this crowd of people. It was like, wow, it was really interesting because it was all organic. It was just different people swinging by. Okay. Yeah, I don't really want to make Jessica, as a distribution thing with her PO box. I don't think we should say that here. A good place that you can do it, where they definitely have it, is Whole Foods. You can just have it sent to Whole Foods, and they'll hold it for you. Oh, thank you, Casey. I really appreciate the support. I really do. It was really a surprise and wonderful. Thank you. Uh, Alaska, you wouldn't be missed much? Yes, you would. That's not true at all. I know the protesters were so happy to see DOA. It was really fun. It was. He had a good time. And they actually had like kind of a mini swatting, but it was all friendly. It was really funny. I said that, I typed on the thing, a friendly swatting. I mean, the fire trucks came and the police came, but it was all very friendly. They liked DOA's truck. They met different people. It was just really, it was like, wow, what a difference from San Francisco and LA, where they're just mean as can be. It's like they really need to learn from these guys. It's like, what a difference. It's really great. And Janie says, thanks everyone for the love. It means a lot. Tori gives me comfort. She's a healer. Aw, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're doing better. I am. Okay, now I don't have a PO box yet, so I'm just using Whole Foods because the Whole Foods is on the Amazon thing. I think if it isn't, you can ask them to put it on. I'm going to try to call them tomorrow to make sure it is. I thought it was. It was for me, but I'm not sure if it is on the wish list. But it should be because it's easy. It's 2 blocks away from me, so it's really easy. Okay, so lots of love from New Zealand from Sophie. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Sherry, that you lost your fur baby a few days ago. Isn't there something just so amazing about losing an animal? I don't know. I for me, it's like there's nothing like it. I mean, I've seen people lose their parents, and that's always sad. But luckily, most of them have lived a long life. So it's sad, but it's like, you kind of celebrate their life. But with animals, it just, I don't know. There's just something about it. I think it's the unconditional love. I really do. And it's just, there's nothing like that. The lore of DOA was banned. Oh, okay. All right. That must be a phony one. Okay. Thank you, Chi. Because it wouldn't be DOA. This was at the mission at the Deep South, so they may have been more open about the homophobia than Class 5 orgs in bigger areas like LA. Okay, I doubt it, but maybe. Because see, the tech itself is against gays, so it doesn't matter where they are. It's Hubbard's tech, and Hubbard was a real homophobic. I mean, his son was gay, Quentin, and he killed himself. And he was a class 12 auditor. So it was bad. It was really bad. I remember when it happened, and it was like, everyone was like, don't ask, don't tell that Quentin's dead. And I was like, come on. So, and, we're still kind of filling in holes of what happened with different people that were there. Yeah, I have been wanting a tripod, so that'll really be a big help. San Bernardino, all right. Question. All right, here's a question. Are Scientologists nice to gay people's faces but smear them behind their back? That's a good question, and very good, because that's what they say gays are. They're 1.1, which means you're friendly in the front, but you're really going to jab a knife in their back. And I think I would say, I don't know, it's I can't really speak for all Scientologists. I know for me, I always thought that was stupid because I experienced the same thing, having a neurological illness. And it was like, give me a break. You have a grand mal seizure and come talk to me about how 1-1 I am. No, it has to do with the physical illness. And gay has to do with being gay. It doesn't have to do with anything else. It's not a tone level. It's that is the condition that someone is. And it's like, it's unbelievable the mean things that Scientology can do. But probably some of them, yes, probably some of them do. I didn't hang around with those guys that did, because I didn't like that. Okay, now what is this? Want to know what a day looks like on different levels. Did they all eat together every day? Now, again, when you say that, did they all eat together? Okay, first of all, there's the Sea Org and public. So public, we ate at home, or we ate out, we ate at work. That was the public. Sea Org, they do kind of all eat at the same time, but they don't all eat together. And I have an interesting story about that, where I was on a special diet, I thought, to handle these headaches that I had. And I met another guy who was on a special diet, kind of similar to me. And they didn't have any food like that at all. For us, we were just students. And so it was like we were just getting really crummy food. So me being a sec checker, I was on the senior sec check course at Flag, right? And I was auditing Commodore's messengers, which are very, very up on the, in the triangle of staff. They're very high up. They're often young people, but they're high up in status. And I thought, I got to get some food. So I went in, because they have a whole different area to eat than the rest of the staff. The staff live here and the students live in eat in a different area. But the Commodore's messengers and the executives eat in a really fancy area. And I had seen it once, because I went in to ask them something about a session we were going to have. And there was all this beautiful, fresh fruit and vegetables and cheeses and breads and, just everything. And here we are with this slop that we're eating. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go get some. So I went every day and I would steal some, and it's going to sound awful, but it's like you have to survive. And it's like they were not helping us survive. So I'd steal cheese for him and fruit for me. I think we each had cheese and fruit and some nuts. That was it. Just a little bit, but it was enough for us. And we put it in the refrigerator. And, it was so ironic, though. And he ended up being an executive at Flag. And here he was, and we'd run into each other and just laugh that we had done that. But that's Scientology. You gotta survive one way or the other. I don't know that everybody would do that, but we did. And so we did. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that they didn't accept the gays. Yeah, I think we're up to where we were. Okay, good. Yeah, we are. Okay, so now let me see. Alyssa, you asked if I have a P.O. box. I said it before, to use Whole Foods for now. I'm going to get one eventually, but I don't have one yet. Okay, Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I have a friend that I think he's still in and he's gay. And I think they're probably doing repair. Do you see what I mean? Like he was on OT7 and is still gay. So they're probably trying to fix him. And it's really kind of tragic because it's like, why can't he just come out? You can. If you're in and you're watching me, you can. Today. All right. Now let me see. I don't see the blue thing. I need your help, love it. All right. Well, maybe not. Oh, here we go. There it is. Boom. All right. Marina feels better soon. Marina feel better soon. Okay. All right. There. Feel better soon. Good. Okay. Here's a question. Could you survive as a vegan or a vegetarian in Scientology? Yeah, you can. You can. I mean, remember, there's public and staff. So I can't speak for staff. I don't know if I think they probably could. They could probably work it out. But certainly public, yeah. You buy your own food and you eat it, at your home. Okay, all right, I got it. Oh, okay. So there's more of them that are up here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to that. I'm looking for them. We talked about this. Okay, and I'm not sure if this is from Sophie. Do you think that gay people still in Scientology are trying to cure it? Like conversation therapy? I do. I mean, it isn't conversation therapy. They're trying to run out the BTs and clusters. They're way up the bridge, and they think if they can handle the body thetans, which are spirits that are connected to them, they can get rid of them. Okay, no, at the bottom of the chat, hit starred. Okay, wait. At the bottom. All right, hang on. We're trying to organize this thing. I think she means, okay, here's one. There. Okay. Marina says, love to you. Thank you. Oh, only Amazon things can go to Whole Foods. Okay, good to know. All right. So then the other things, I guess we will have to use Jessica until I get a PO box. Ooh, I'll have to ask her to make sure. Okay, so I didn't know that. So that's a good thing to know. So I'll have to find something. Oh, good. This is good. Loving your old videos on Mark Bunker's channel. Yeah, he's got tons. I mean, that guy has content. I'm telling you, forever. All right, here's a question. Okay, that's the one we just answered. Okay. And the fur baby ones we answered. It's heartbreaking to lose. And Casey Knight, oh, they are like a family member. It's very true. Okay, so I think I went through all the starred ones. So does anyone have a question? Do you want to ask a question? Wow, we're really early. This one went really, really early. Okay, I did go to the top, and I did that. I did. Sorry, you guys. All right. I'm hitting the starred things. There's 7 of them, and all of them we've covered. So maybe just do unstarred, unstarred so that I can see what else there is. Because we've got plenty of time tonight. And I think the way you have it, I can't see anything else. I can only see the 7 things that are starred. Okay, here's Sherry saying hi. Oh, Janie's the one that has to put down your beautiful dog. I'm so sorry. That's really very difficult. And you know what? It stays difficult. It's not like it's an easy thing. It takes a while. I still miss Elvis. I lost him, I think, a couple of years ago now. I think we've answered these. Acer 211 is checking in from San Bernardino County. Good. Now this I'm not sure of. This is weird. This says my name. And it says I got rid of them. But I didn't write that. So, all right. I have been wanting a tripod. I'm very happy to have a tripod. It's really great. And a megaphone, both of them. So they're perfect. Perfect gifts. Yeah. So Chi, that's really great. I know there's a lot of new equipment out there. There is. And I keep seeing stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, I should get one of those, like one of those battery things for your to charge your cell phone, because we're out there for a lot of time. And then like last night, my phone was down to 13, I think. By the time I left, I had to leave because I said, I don't have one of those stations. Oh, this is nice. Look at her with the little hearts and stars. Thank you, Sophie. I appreciate it. Okay, Casey Knight, I again thank you from Australia. And sorry, Janie B. Okay, E. Kirch says that. Good. Yeah, this is a very great point. No one should feel bad about who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. You shouldn't feel bad about it. And nobody should make you feel bad about it. Do you have a P.O. box? I don't yet. Just strictly due to finances. It's like, I think they're like $40 a month. So I don't yet. I don't. I'll ask Jessica. I will. Okay, thank you for letting me know that, Love It, though, about only the Amazon things can go to the Whole Foods. That's good to know. I didn't know that. It makes sense. It just, I hadn't connected those dots. Somehow I thought other things could go there too. All right, now here's a comment. Wait a second. Oh, oh yeah, okay. Okay, I think love all of you. I watch all the streamers. Love from Barney from UK. Thank you, Barney. That's very cool. It must be interesting to watch the United States ones, because we're certainly a different, different than UK. That's for sure. So it's got to be kind of fun to be here. It's fun that we can all be on the internet and be many, many miles away, but still be together. It's very cool. My Alaska, good point. Use the door. I was saying that last night in my megaphone. The way out is the nearest door. I think it's a good one. I think it's a good quote. Okay, and this is from Kate. She said she's just watching from the start on ×2. We'll be back soon. All right, good. Hello from Montreal, Canada. Woo! Here you go. Hello. And here is Dr. Mark. I think I saw you. Weren't you on Mark's channel up in Sacramento? I think so. I met Saul for the first time. I finally got to see who he was. It was really funny. It was really unusual for me because somehow I thought he was like an older man. And he's a young guy. It was kind of a surprise. It really was, but it was fun to meet him. They had cool stuff too. They had these like what do you call those? Like one wheel skateboard kind of things. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Jessica won't mind. She loves filling her mini with mail. Okay. All right. Well, then send it to Jessica. I think you're kind of right on that. She and Chris went through this thing last night. Oh, it was really funny. They are such a kick together. The two of them. I told them last night, I said, you guys are like a married couple. And they both laughed. Ah, sweet. You're still learning. You have a great teacher here, Tori. Lovett is patient and kind. She is. She's really great. She, everybody's been great. I mean, the first teacher I had was Jessica. She did the first video with me, and she's been very great too. And DOA has been helpful. Laura, it's like they're really a great community. All of you. It's really been wonderful. Meeting Lovett's been fantastic. I mean, she's the bee's knees. She is. She's really great. Okay, here you go. Can you explain to a Scientologist that the tone scale isn't real? I wouldn't personally say that. I don't think that. I think Hubbard's definitions of the tone scale isn't real because he broke down things very finite, and it was sort of like if you weren't up in these categories and the thing's really really long, let's say it's a yard long, if you weren't in the top 4 inches or 3 inches, you were down tone, you're down stat, you're nothing. You know what I mean? So it was like that part of it I think is completely false. And but the actual tones themselves, anger and not all of them, because some of them are really crazy, but most of them are, enthusiasm or grief. A lot of people have that, or conservatism. That's one. So I think people do kind of, you know, hang around. Like some people angry, they're angry all the time, and it kind of helps to look at that and go, oh yeah, that's what's happening with that person. Now, does what he says change it? Like he says you can change out of it by using a half a step above it, and I don't think so. I don't i don't and I don't think most of what he says is true. Like certainly 1.1, which he says about everyone, or Miscavige now says about everyone who leaves Scientology, they're 1-1. No, they're not. 1-1 is covert hostility. I am very overt. I tell you how I feel. I'm not like hiding in a closet or smiling and pretending I'm friendly and then I'm ready to stab you in the back. I'm not. That's not me. So if you can say it all you want, but it's not true. And it doesn't matter that I have epilepsy. That doesn't make me 1-1. Just like it doesn't make a gay 1-1. It's just stupid. So yeah, in that sense, no, it doesn't work. And that's the chart of human evaluation is really where that all comes in, where it breaks down all the different tone levels. I mean, the basic tone levels, I think, are pretty, most of them are pretty realistic. But all the manipulation with the tone scale is, hog. It's totally, totally not cool. So anyway, I hope that answered it, Sophie. I hope it did. Because it isn't really real in that sense. No. All right. Arlene, what's missing? I don't know you have to finish that sentence. All right. Oh, fun. Hi, JB808. It was great seeing you on LRHWay last night. Oh, yeah, that's right. Also, Danny was a stand-up gentleman for walking into the car. Very much. Yeah. Much love from Hawaii. Yeah, that's right. That was cool seeing you too. It was really, wasn't that interesting how people just kind of organically came together? I mean, it started with just Jessica and Chris, and then I went over there. So it was the three of us, and then it just started building, and I think by the end there were 10 people there. It was like pretty big. Please go to the top and click star. Thanks. I know I hear you do that, and I've been trying to do it, and I'm just telling you, I'm clicking start. Okay. And it's got the same starred ones that I've already talked about, the P.O. Box, Amazon, Loving Your Old Videos that are on Bunker's site, Sophie, about gay people, Casey Knight, about the fur babies, and please go to the start. So I don't know what to do. I really don't. I'm sorry. I kind of somehow screwed up tonight, but I don't know what else to do. I don't see the other starred things. You could call me. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. 'Cause I don't think there's any. Ah, here she is. Hello. Yeah. Okay. But then that's all that's there are those 7 things that I've already read. Okay. Okay, I'll stay here. Okay. Thank you. She's so great. Thank you guys for being patient. Anyway, what happened is there are a few trolls, so we're just going to leave it like this. She's going to add some things, and then we'll go from there. But in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, or let's see if I can think of anything. Um, Here's a good one. Okay. Oop, I spelled it wrong. Okay, anyway, I meant to say treated. There. How are gays treated? And how they are treated is very differently than anyway, the question was how are gays treated? I don't know quite how to get rid of this. Question, do you have any tips for never ends who would like to protest? I do. Thank you for that question. Now let me just see where I want to click that so it's not on there. I don't see how to click it. Love it. You're going to have to unclick this thing here. Ooh! Uh-oh. Wow, what happened? Oh my goodness. It went full screen. Wow, that was weird. That was really spooky for me. It went full screen. It was really wild. Wow. Anyway, I don't know how to unclick that. I can't seem to find that to unclick it. But then I will give you the tips. Let me just find this. Hang on. Okay. Let's see. Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, she did it. She handled it. Okay, good. All right, so here's some tips on picketing. First of all, this is from me. I've been picketing since 2000, so 24 years. And one of the things that I remember, I was in and then was sent out to handle the critics who were out there. So I'm speaking from their viewpoint. Do you see what I mean? My viewpoint and their viewpoint. But I understand how they feel because I was a Scientologist sent out to handle the critics. And at first, and this went on for a couple of years where people would just yell and yell and yell at me, you know, Scientology is a cult. Okay, what does that do? Nothing. Nothing. You don't even hear it. You know, it's like it just. I don't think it's something that's heard. Now, I could be wrong. So that's the other thing. I could be wrong. Maybe they do hear it now. You know, it's like maybe they're going, "Oh yeah, this is a cult. I'm getting out of here." So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it's not what I've ever done. So my thing when I was a Scientologist, I'll tell you that first, and I would come out and try to handle the critics, I wouldn't hear anything. They'd all yell all these facts about Hubbard and the church and, you know, just creepy things. And I call it plexiglass, where I just put up plexiglass and it would just bounce off. I wouldn't hear it. And the only guy I heard was one guy, and I've told you guys this before, but one guy came up to me and he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And he asked it really nicely and he sounded like he really wanted an answer. And I said, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "If you're free, why can't you read certain books?" And I said, "Oh, I can read anything I want. I just don't want to read certain books." And he said, "Okay." And he left, which was very smart in itself. You know, instead of just pounding me right there, he left and then he came back and asked the same question again. And then he left and he came back. But I'm telling you, that question stuck in my head for years. I mean, it was really amazing. And part of it was his kindness, because he was very kind, just like Andreas changed my life by being kind and offering me a hand. Everyone else was yelling about me, saying I'm always this and that. And Andreas was like, you know, nobody can read what you're posting because you're not formatting. And I didn't even know what formatting was. So he taught me what it was. But I'm just saying the point is, you know, it's like kindness goes a long way, because you have to remember these people are in a cult that isn't exactly kind. You know, it's like they've got to get to chorus, get on chorus, you know, everything is like move along, move along, move along. I mean, they have their thing where it acts like everything's friendly and but you know, behind it is like, hurry up, get going. You've got to finish this. You've got to do the next thing. And so now who remembers what I was talking about? Because I don't. Anyway, I forgot what my subject was that I was talking about. But someone had asked me, about picketing. That's it. So when I was in, that was it. And he was the only guy that I'll ever remember that talked to me ever, and 2 years of people yelling at me all the time. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? You know, it's sort of like all the yelling didn't do anything. So I still kind of feel that way. I personally, I mean, I might, like last night I had the megaphone and I was like the way out of the nearest door because I wanted to try the megaphone, right? And I may say a few things from the megaphone to certain people or something, and if I have to, if we can't use the megaphone, I'll yell. But, you know, I want them to hear it, but I think it's really tricky. I think the best way is kindness, you know, and humor, you know, like Jessica doing all of her funny stuff, I think is very, very, you know, first of all, it definitely keeps people out of joining because they see it and it's funny and it's true because she's taking pictures of them doing funny things. And so there's that. And then also, you know, you never know what we don't know what the people in are seeing now. Can they use the internet? I mean, in my day, no, nobody was on the internet. But I don't think that's true anymore because just like our things, like does anybody know how many likes we have now? We have 115 people in the house. So let's say if we had 120 or 130 likes, that could be people that are in watching it, liking it, but they don't want to say their names because they don't want to lose their friends and family. And I understand that. I do. But I will tell you this, your life is ticking away. And the more you stay in Scientology, the less life you have. So think about that because it's not really life. You're not living life when you're in Scientology. You're on a program that someone else is running about your life. And it's not exactly a fun one for most people. It's a little fun and it seems fun enough, and everybody else is saying how fun it is. But when you get out, you find out no, it wasn't fun for me. It wasn't fun for you. It wasn't fun for him. It's like look up OT Speaking Freely. It's a really good video about Greg Barnes, his wife Deborah at the time, me, and Peter Alexander. And we were only out, I mean, days, if not a week or so. I mean, the Barneses might have been out a couple of weeks, but we were newly out, and we were sitting around the Barneses' house, and I was saying, da, 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 and they were saying this, and da, 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 and in Scientology, they say everything is standard tech, so whatever you're getting, he's getting, she's getting, they're getting, that's how it's pitched. So it's all standard. But it isn't. We were sitting in this living room going, well, this happened to me. And I said, really? I never had that. And the other person would say, well, I didn't have that, but I had this. It was so unique. So I said to Bunker, you've got to turn on the camera. You've got to, because nobody's seen this. Nobody knows this. So he did. He turned on the camera and boom, there you go. It's up on the internet, and it's good. It really is. So luckily we had Mark. I mean, thank goodness. And Bob Minton and Stacy and Jesse had that LMT because they really, Mark especially, recorded things. So hey, there's Saul. Hi. Tori has the best responses. They kind of treat her with some respect. Thank you. That's nice. I finally got to meet you, Saul. So fun. It was so fun to meet you. I thought you were that old guy that was there. I always thought you were an older man. Not that you're an old, old, but just older. And you're not. It was like really fun to meet you. And what a great town. Oh, I fell in love with it. I mean, that swatting thing that happened with Bunker, I couldn't believe it. It was like I've never seen a friendly. First of all, swatting is new to me. I've only known it for a couple of weeks, but I've seen some weird ones. And to now see a friendly swatting where the fire trucks came up and the cops came up and they were all chatting with DOA and saying how they liked his truck and shit. It was like, oh my God. It was really, really remarkable compared to San Francisco and LA. It was really great to see. So thank you all for your kind comments. It's really, really wonderful. Aww. Oh, good. So you caught up from the start. Well, there you go. Hello from New Zealand. Yeah, you guys are lucky. That sounds like a beautiful country. We're lucky here, though, too. It's good here. Thank you, Arlene. That's nice. Really nice. Thank you. Hi, Gloria. Hey. Who's this? Armando. All right. Hello, friends. And Christina saying hello. This is so sweet that you said that, Saul. They kind of treat her with some respect. Yeah, I think part of it is I know them. You know what I mean? I've worked with them. I've been with them for 30 years. Hello. So it's sort of, and I don't ever yell at them. I don't believe in it. That's what we were talking about earlier. I don't know if you were here, Saul, but I personally, for me, and I'm not saying this is right because for someone, it may be perfect. Like streets yelling, I totally get it. But other people yelling, it's up to them. It really is. And Streets is very selective about who he yells to. Also, he usually knows the person, and that's when he starts yelling. So that's a different thing, and I think that's important. You'll have 11. Okay, okay, good to know. It says 7 here, so it's still 7 on this end. All right, let's see. Tori must be doing something right if the enemy is lurking. Exactly. And all of you, too. You guys are a big part of this. You have to know that. Okay. Okay, this is good. Be charming while protesting. Yeah, I think so. I think be like you would want someone to be with you. It's like if someone comes up to you and goes, "What are you doing?" Yeah, you're in this stupid cult. Are you going to listen to that? It's like, okay, I hear you. I have nothing more to say to you ever. It's just sort of like I don't think it works. I really don't. But even a little seed of like somebody walked by last night, and one guy said, and that's what brought this up. He said, "Scientology's a cult," and the guy kept walking, and I said, "Do you honestly think that yelling that at that guy planted any seed at all?" And he said, "No," and I said, "I don't either." But I think if you would have maybe said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Are you a Scientologist?" And then if he said yes, say, "I just have to ask you a question. You know, do you believe in free speech?" And the guy'd say, "Of course." And say, "Okay, if you believe in free speech, why can't you talk to people? Why can't anybody come out here and talk to us?" I mean, to me, that's like a basic seed that we all should be planting with them in a very kind way, not in a mean way. Just that's what I think. Me, Tori, having been on both sides of it, and it's like kindness was the only thing that ever got to me. If Andreas hadn't treated me as kindly as he had, I'd still be in Scientology. That, just so you know. I mean, no matter how much shit I'd been through, which had been a lot, I would not have left without Andreas being as kind as he was. I just wouldn't have. It just was like, because so many people were kind of nasty to me. And it's sort of like, okay, and here's Scientology going, "Do you really want to dive out with those nasty people?" And you're like, "Not really." You know, don't we all like to? I mean, love is really where it's at. That's where it's at. So if you're kind to people, you love them, they're going to remember you at least. That's at the very least. They're gonna remember you, and that's just the way it is. That's what I think. But again, uh, if everything that I thought worked, they'd all be out, and they're not. So I say, whatever you feel good in your heart doing, do it, because none of us know for sure. Okay. Okay, here you go. Here's our YRB. The yelling brought somebody out to talk. You add eventually a kind of question planted, a seed of a question. It grew, and eventually you were the result. No, no. The yelling brought somebody out to talk to you, somebody to talk, you. Add eventually a kind question planted. Nah, I'm just trying to tell you, the yelling didn't ever get me to do anything. It just didn't. I would have never joined ARS and made my own 4,000 posts in 2 weeks, except for the guys that were funny, and they were, they had other things that they were doing that were different than just yelling facts about Hubbard. And that got me to think, well, these guys are kind of cool. Like Bunker. Bunker was really nice to me. And it was sort of like, okay, you can see him with those guys going, "What are your overs? What are your crimes? Who did you murder?" And of course he's not as nice to them, but he was very nice to me. He really was. And I really thought about it. I said to Harold, we came home, and I said, "I really like that guy. He's really nice." And it was sort of like, it's hard to forget someone like that when they're nice to you and they treat you well. It's sort of like, okay, how could that person be so bad? It just doesn't add up. It doesn't. So I get what you're saying, YRB, but I don't think someone yelling brought anybody out to talk. Me. I no. OSA sent me out to handle the critics. So that's why I was amongst them. It didn't bring me out because of it. OSA said, go handle these guys and see if you can get rid of them. And I did a lot of the time. A lot of the time they would leave. And it was me talking to them. It wasn't them yelling at me. Those guys, forget it. I mean, to me, it was a wash. And in fact, I asked Laurel Sullivan, who was L. Ron Hubbard's personal PR on the ship. And I asked her when I got out, I said, I don't get it. I was pretty successful having these kids leave, the critics. But Scientology always does that. What are your overts? What are your crimes? And I just don't get it. What's the deal? And she was the head of PR. And now she's out, but she was talking to me and she said, you never did the LRH PR course, did you? And I said, no, I didn't. And I thought about it right then. I thought my successful actions on the street are because of my mother and father and all their PR actions that I watched and grew up with. That was it. It wasn't really Hubbard. And she said, that's why you were successful. We who used LRH's PR course were kicked out of every single port in the world. That's a lot of ports to be kicked out of that they went into. Every port that they went into and used LRH PR check, they were kicked out. So that's what she said to me. And I thought, okay, so that shows it. It doesn't work. And that's why when you see guys going, what are your overs? What are your crimes? Who did you murder? It's like, are you insane? No. So anyway, that's my little rant on it, YRB. That was from OSA sending me out and then me finally disconnecting from OSA, which I've told in my story. And then on my own, going to meet with some of the critics online that were kinder, nicer, funnier, that kind of thing. I mean, one guy created this whole game for me. And to this day, I'd love to meet him. I don't know who he was, but it was this whole game. And it was like, okay, do this and try that. And I don't even remember it, but it was like, it did keep me, it kept me there. Do you know what I mean? It was like, okay, all right, let me try it. And I'd try it and he'd say, okay, this time you won, but last time you lost or whatever. I don't remember how it went. Okay, Saul, how never in should protest in your opinion? What? How never in should protest in your opinion? Oh, you're asking me? Is that a question? How should never ins protest in your opinion? Okay, so I see you're saying how should someone who was never in protest in my opinion? See, I think anybody, because I've been around critics for 24 years and a lot of them were never in, but some of them took time to learn, like Bunker. Bunker was wrong on a lot of stuff when he first began. And we would talk it out and I'd say, you said this, but this is the fact, that kind of thing. And he was very aware and interested in learning and kept reading and studying other people and reading their books. And, so now he's like an excellent interviewer because he knows Scientology. So you don't have to do all that if you don't want, but you can certainly go, if let's say you're talking to a Scientologist and you ask them about the free speech thing and they say, well, you were never in. And you go, no, I wasn't ever in, but free speech is universal, so I don't have to be in Scientology and I'm not against Scientology. I'm against the abuses of the Church of Scientology. See, and that's where I think it'll stick in their head because the abuses are the breaking up families, stopping free speech, medical abuse, which a lot of them don't even know about, enforced abortions, obviously, and fair game and fraud. And a lot of them, I really didn't think they did fair game. I was sure until they canceled my van going to the airport, I was sure they didn't do fair game. So probably a lot of people don't think so either, because Hubbard did write a cancellation of it. But at the bottom, Jesse Prince showed me in fine print, it says, this cancellation has nothing to do with declared suppressive people, which are the only people they'd fair game anyway. So tricky. All right. Okay, now here's this from Kelly. Every ex-Scientologist is clear that their fellow parishioners are all good people with good intentions. Approaching them politely as if they're misguided probably reaches a lot of them. Yeah, I think so. Just like Odo, he's a security guard. And if you watch the Easter videos of it, you see me go up and talk to Odo. And I hadn't seen him in probably 5 years. But years ago, he could talk. They could all talk. They used to send people out to talk to us. And that was a lot more fun because then we could talk to them and they could talk to us and stuff like that. But Odo, we had long conversations with him. And obviously it didn't work because he's still there. But I thought he was dead. I thought he died of COVID. So when I saw him, I didn't recognize him because he has a big black beard, which he never had before. And he had on that cowboy hat. And I just didn't recognize him. I thought he was just a Sea Org guy. And I said, you didn't get into Scientology to stop free speech. That's all I said, that thinking he was just a Sea Org guy. And then that was my little seed that I planted, right? And then I went and sat down and somebody mentioned Odo. And I said, is Odo here? And he said, that's the guy you were talking to. And I went, oh my God. So I went back and went, Odo, it's Tori. And he went, I know. And he gave me this little wink and a smile. And it was like, people can say he didn't say anything to you, but he did. He did in his own way. He said as much as he could say. And it was, you're losing, Osa. You're massively losing. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, now this is from Alaska. It's a tactic he used on the question. Epsteinology, okay, is a tactic he used on a question. It works very well on cults. Plant the question, don't judge. Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, that's right. Plant the question. Just like that guy said to me, if you're free, why can't you read certain books? And remember, your voice is a lot like music. And music, if it's nice, it gets into your heart. If it's, well, some people love really, loud, horrible music. Not horrible, but, loud, angry music. And to me, that wouldn't get into my heart. But you just have to remember it's like melodic. And if you can get it into their head, they're going to keep thinking about it. So just don't be angry, because I don't think that works. If you're like, well, if you could read certain books, why, if you're free, why can't you read certain books? You're not going to stick. I would have never talked to him again. That would have been it. Hi, Tori. Hi, Kate. Hello, and thank you for your yellow hearts. Okay, here's a question. All right. What are some good questions to ask while picketing? What would be effective to get Scientologists thinking about if they are really happy in CFS? Well, those are all good questions. That's a good question for me. I think people have written up different questions that it's like the main problem is we never get to talk to them anymore. So it isn't like you have access to a whole bunch of Scientologists. You have maybe a minute to talk to a Scientologist now. It's different than when I was talking to Odo, we'd talk to him for hours. We'd go there and stay, not for hours, but at least for an hour we'd talk to him. And we got in a lot of stuff and found out a lot of stuff about him. I mean, it was a good communication. But as far as actual questions, I think, it's the basic ones I think have to do with abuse. Are you aware that your church now enforces abortions? Do you even know that? So that's, if you say it nice enough, if you said it mean, it's not going to work. But if you said it nice enough, someone might be like, do we enforce abortions? Because I certainly didn't know about it. And that was a big break in my Scientology Truman Show. Big break. It was like, I can't do this. I just can't do it. Do they know how many? I know personally, and you could say Tori Chrisman knows 17 young people who've taken their own lives. What do you have to say about that? Just think about it. And next time you see me, I want you to tell me what you think about it. It's like they have no access to any other therapy at all. And they will lose every friend they have if they leave. Like me, I lost every friend, every 30-year friend gone overnight. And my husband of 27 years. That's a lot for somebody to take. I'm telling you, I had to see a lot of stuff to get to that point. And they had to turn on me. If they hadn't turned on me, I'd probably still be in Scientology. But they did turn on me. And that's on you, Osa, because you rats turned on me. And I would have still been in if you hadn't turned on me. And Yachty, it's especially on you because you were my auditor, my counselor, my best friend, and you turned on me. You turned on me. And that is really, you want to talk about ethics? That's as far down as you can possibly get. It really is. And I don't care if you think I'm an SB. It doesn't matter. I'm not. I'm not. So you come out here and get over here and I'll talk to you. I will talk to you. I won't make you wrong. You can go back in Scientology. If you talk to me for an hour, we'll see. I dare you to come over here and talk to me for an hour. Any Scientologist, come over to talk to me for an hour. All right. So anyway, you can Google, poke around and ask other people because honestly, I don't have a list at the top of my head, Marina, but I think you can take each of the abuses and ask them about those because those are really good. Okay. YRB says 10 people watching the cameras are watching and the children of public are most likely watching the YouTube. 10 people watching the cameras are watching and the children of the public are most likely watching the YouTube. Okay, well, that's good. The more kids that get educated on mind control and how this thing works, I tell kids every day. I run into young people every day and I let them know what, Scientology's after you. And they're like, really? I'm like, hell yeah. You dual languages, right? And they go, yeah. I go, there you go. That's what they want. Young people, nice looking, smart, and dual languages. Boom. Don't ever join it. And then I give them my little pitch, which I'm not telling you, Osa. Ha. Okay, question. Would you say something different to a public than you would to Sea Org if you came across one? Well, I'm pretty big on the free speech thing. That's my thing because it's just like a hands down. If you can't talk, what are you doing in Scientology? They're selling freedom. They sell communication. Whether you're Sea Org or public, what are you doing in there? What do you think? I need to hear from you. What do you think is happening in there? Do you think somehow, even though they have blankets on the windows, or they did a while ago, they had blanket tech, we called it, and they had blankets on the windows. Now they have, the shades on all the windows. But if I was in a building where they pulled down every shade and I couldn't see out, I'd go outside. I would not be like, oh, okay, we have to stay inside because they're so evil. No, I'm not that wimpy. I'd be like, I want to go talk to them and I want to find out what they have to say. And that's what I did. They decided, okay, then you go out and handle them. And I did. And it was good. All right, here's another question. Is there a big difference in the ones living in the hotels compared to the public members? Sure. See, the people in the hotels, if well, when you say hotels, I have to try to think about it. There's Sea Org Berthing, which is really apartments. They're not really hotels. The only hotel is the Manor Hotel, which they changed into Celebrity Center. And I don't think they have, I think those are mostly public. That's if they rent rooms there, they're mostly public. And yeah, it's a big difference. I got to look at your question again. So the people in the buildings, like if you're in Sea Org Berthing, it's usually 4 people to a room or more, right? For each room. So that's how that is. And they're working all day and night, and then they get 3 meals a day. That's how it is. It's like a slave camp. That's really what it is. And then you get to go to sleep and get up again and start the whole thing again. And it doesn't matter that you don't like it, because you've got to show them that you love it and that you're happy, or you'll be put in a lower condition. And that's bad news. So nobody does that. So anyway, the public are out working, they live in their own homes or apartments or whatever, and living their lives, and then doing courses or auditing, but they're not run by the churches. I mean, they're sort of run in that the church is always trying to get money from them and stuff, but they're not living under the umbrella or the home of the Scientology. They're not, whereas the other guys are. All right, Marina, what's your best advice to say to parents who bring their children to the Chicago Ideal Org? Do they? Oh, I would say, can I talk to you privately, and get them outside and say, look, do you have any idea what you're joining here? You know, what are you thinking this is? I'm just curious, because I have a couple of friends who were in this for many, many years and finally had to escape out. This is what I told one mother. She was going just with a ticket to go to the testing center here in LA. And she had 3 kids and her husband. So it was 5 people walking down the street, coming up with their tickets, all ready to go to the testing center. And I just walked up to the mother and I said, I'm just going to tell you one thing. I was in this for 30 years. I escaped out in 2000. They chased me across the country. I lost every friend I had. My husband of 27 years. Believe me on this, there's a very good chance they will take your kids and you will lose them forever. So if you want to do that, and they take all your money, right? And all of them, without the parents saying anything to the kids, all 5 of them went like this and handed the tickets back to the guy and walked on. I said, good choice. So I forget what you said that made me think of that. Oh yeah. So for parents, I would ask them, do you know what's going on in here? And most of them will say no, but they said they can help us with our business or our family or whatever. And you can say, okay, they are good at pitching that kind of thing. But just so you know, it costs a ton of money and they often break up families. Those are the 2 things I would say. It's like it's a ton of money and they often break up families. And you can go online, and I would give them xenu.net, www.xenu.net, and say, go online, read some of this. And then if you still want to come here, you come here. But at least go with an educated mind, because right now you're not. And this is a big part of this is mind control, believe it or not. And it works. So that's what I would say to them. I hope that helped, Marina. Okay, here's someone saying, Marina, your questions are great ones. They are good questions. I think a lot of them are good. As far as their level of listening to as far as their level of listening to non-members, not a full sentence. So try to rephrase that. But I think you're saying, what is their level of listening for non-members? I think, if that's what you're saying. Um, they're not listening to anybody. So it doesn't matter if I'm OT7. I was class 5. I was, a senior sec checker. I mean, I've done everything. They don't listen to me. They don't listen to anybody. They know. Do you know what I mean? So the chances are not huge that the picketing is a big part of what helps, I think, because people think that. And I believe in signs because that's what Anonymous did. That's what the critics did. But we've used signs for years because signs, all they have to do is see out the window for a second or go somewhere for a second and they can see a sign. And the sign, like mine, is Scientology, stop hurting families. That's it. It isn't even a question. But I might change it. But Frank Oliver made it for me in 2000 and I loved it. I've kept it. It's a stop sign. It's kind of like my signature sign. So I keep it. But there's a lot of great signs, really great signs. And, I think signs and the live streaming both are really helpful. Okay, so I think they listen to a non-member as much as they're going to listen to a member. I mean, they'll probably listen to a member more, but not really because they're more afraid of members. So like we have a guy, Chris without a Hellcat, that's his name. He now, I don't know, he's vanished somewhere, but I'm hoping he comes back. But he was great. He was never in, and he was great at just going up to Scientologists and talking to them and asking them questions and getting them to talk. And it wasn't his big thing to get him out. It was just to get him talking. You know what I mean? And we all said it last night. He was the best. He really was the best. I mean, I think part of it was he looked nice. And so he probably looks like a Scientologist to other Scientologists because they usually look pretty nice. And so then, it's easy for him. And he'd just say, can I ask you a question or something like that? I don't even know what he did because I didn't hear it. But they were saying last night he was really great at talking with people. And that I had seen. We could probably go look at Chris without a Hellcat and listen to him and hear what he says. That'd be educational. That's good. Okay, that one, YRB, we said that one. Is there a difference in the ones living in the hotels? I answered that. What's your best advice to say to parents? I said that. Okay. Oh, good. I'm excited. That's good, Marina. I'm just prepping to start protesting. And as I told Tori before, she's the best to ask. I don't know if I'm the best, but honestly, I just think it's from your heart. If you speak from your heart, you'll do fine. It's like just being there is a big part of it. It really is. Because, I mean, look at what happened with the live streamers. They just showed up. Jessica did a few goofy things for a few days, Streets and she met. And then it just kind of expanded. The Chris's came on and different people. And then I wanted to meet him. So I went with my friend Drew and we went on a Friday night, I think, and we met a whole bunch of them. They were at the complex. And then I said to Jessica, I really want to learn how to do this. And she said, okay, I'll come over. So then she came over and taught me. So that brought me into it, but it's gone from like just very little to, I think, 20 people to 50 people to at Easter time. They said there's over 100. And now they're across the United States. It's really happening. Way to go, Scientology. Once again, you screwed up. It's just unbelievable to see these people screw up over and over and over. But anyway, Marina, have a wonderful picket. And I hope some of my answers have helped you. And if they haven't, send me an email, and here's my email. All right, here we go. There you go. You can send me and that's in, right underneath my name on YouTube is more about Tori, and it's got my email and all. Even though I'm not monetized, and I won't be monetized yet, because that's the other thing I wanted to mention. Wait a minute. What is this? Okay. 23 starred. You can click on the starred sections. Okay, if I can find them. I don't know. Something's happening with my computer that I'm not seeing the starred sections. Okay. All right. Anyway, everyone, if you can listen a little bit longer each time, that would be cool, because my listening hours, I think 25,000, and I have to have 40,000. I think I may be saying it wrong. I'll tell you tomorrow night, but I have to get them up. So if you can listen to other videos of mine, and that'll help my listening hours. Now, I get that love it is trying to help me. And the ones that are starred, the only ones I'm seeing are the 7 that I told you. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I don't. I really don't. But it's got live and starred. And the live ones, everybody's saying hi. Wow, nice. Well, this is good to see all these people. I hadn't seen these people. Oh, no. This you got to get on right away. I was actually really surprised to learn there's an org and active community here in Edinburgh. I've seen them handing out the Way to Happiness and Narconon materials in our city. You got to go talk to them and let them know, so that they're not giving out money to them. Okay, now here this person says, "Hey Tori, good to see you. Just wondering what it is for you, as it's 10 in the morning in Europe. So that's 6 on the East Coast, right?" No, it's 1:30 in the morning here right now. Hope you're getting your sleep. I am. I always get my sleep. I'm a fiend on sleep. You'll see me leave a party and say, I gotta go to bed. I gotta get, I have it all scheduled out, so I'm fine on it. Oh, now this is interesting. I lower my voice when I'm doing harm reduction outreach. It automatically makes me less dangerous. That's a good point, and forces them to listen. I pass out drug testing supplies and Narcan. What's Narcan? I don't know about the drug testing supplies. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that to Scientologists, because they're really big on their own Narconon thing, and you passing out your other stuff, I don't think to Scientologists would be a good thing, but the voice thing is very good. Thank you. All right. And this is Marina. Thank you for your wisdom. I told you a few days ago, I appreciate your opinion on protests greatly. Okay, good. I really hope it helps. And the thing is this, have fun. That's the most important thing. When you go out to protest, have fun. I told you that one mother called me and she was crying, and I said, "What's up?" And she said, "I've been trying to get my daughter out of Scientology for years, and she saw all of you outside having fun." And Anonymous would always bring cake and music and stuff like that. And she said, they were having so much fun. I said, "Mom, I could be with them. I want you to come pick me up. I'm done. I'm out of Scientology." Isn't that great? So definitely have fun. Don't get too serious with it, because, it doesn't work. It doesn't help. And it's not fun for you. Okay, I'm sorry about that. My Alaska, I lost the same when I left Christianity. 40 years of friends and family. Wow. It is. But I've made friends all around the world, and it looks like you have too, and that's good. And like Andreas said, what kind of friends could those be if they're going to leave you because you change your mind? I'm sorry that was done to you, Tori. I had a similar thing happen in the cult I was in. My recruiter turned on me. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty hard with Bill. It really was. It was really surprising. But learn something every day. I have no idea what motivated him to turn on me. I don't. I really don't. And his wife died. So, way to go, Bill. We learned about mind control, all right, and how not to be influenced by it in school already and early on. It's part of the curriculum because of Germany not having a desire to repeat history. Okay, I was going to say, where do you live? Because they don't teach mind control here at all. They don't teach a lot of things that they should teach. But Germany's cool. Yeah, that I know. Yes, you can see Anonymous. Here he is, Mr. Anonymous, the infamous moose from Norway. And I got to get his eyes out. There we go. I think you can see his eyes. What happened to your eyeballs? Oh, his fur's over him. There we go. There we go. There he is, Mr. Anonymous. There you go. Thank you for asking. Ace V. All right. Okay. Ah, nice. I wish everybody a good day. I've subscribed to your channel. Lots of greetings from Istanbul, Turkey. I lost sleep during the day. Okay. Well, thank you for joining and welcome. Wonderful. We welcome you. Wow, that's amazing to hear that they bring the kids there. Ugh, that is just frightening. There are a lot of kids in Chicago, but that doesn't mean they have to end up there. Oh, here's Casey Knight. That's good. Hey, chat, did you hit the like button? If not, you can now. Yeah, does anybody know what the like button is? Because I can't see it. Okay. Question. Where was the person from who got you to leave Scientology? They sound Scandinavian. He was from Norway. Andreas Heldal-Lund. And he started www.xenu.net. And he's a perfect example. He was never in Scientology. He had nothing to do with cults or anything. He was just in Norway, and he read in the papers that someone was getting sued by the Church of Scientology. And he thought, why would a church sue a Norwegian? And so he started poking around the internet. This was in the 90s. And everything was kind of all over the place. And he, of course, found some of Scientology, how great it is. But then he started finding Paulette Cooper's story and just many different things. And so he, being a computer geek, decided, I'll make a computer website about it. And he did. And it's helped thousands of people. And he passed away this year in, I think, January. Sad and true. Really sad because he was very young. It was too bad. I mean, he's in his, I think, late 50s. He was just going to turn 60. And I miss him. I do. But he's always around. He is. All right. Okay, now what does this say? I've seen streams where the streamer will get a public in a conversation, but then a Sea Org will lead them away by the arm. Yeah, that happens a lot. And that happens to Sea Org too. It isn't just public. Yeah, they're trained to do that. It's like if they know, all of them know who I am, but if they know you and they know that you're kind of in our group and you're talking to someone, they'll go and get them and say, no, you can't talk to them. You know, they're bad news. You know, and you know, you would think they'd kind of question it, but they don't. They're really trained from an early age, from when you first start Scientology. You have to follow the path and you have to stay on the path. And if you don't stay on the path, you'll never get free. And, you know, it sounds kind of hokey now, but when you're young and you're kind of looking for something, and all the people, when I got in, they were really cool. So it was sort of like, wow, this is amazing. I mean, it was like teachers and professors and doctors and all kinds of people were in Scientology. It was just really an amazing group of people. It isn't so much now, so I can't even get why they would join. But I've talked to people who almost were going to join till they ran into me, and not gonna now. All right. Oh, good, Marina. That's good. She said, you've helped me prepare for protesting. Very grateful for your sharing your thoughts and ideas. Good. Yeah. Like I said, have fun with it and stay safe. You know, it's like they can be crazy. So, you know, make sure you're safe and don't go alone. Always go in twos. Always. That's my thing, because the second person is a witness if anything does happen to you. And if you can, bring a camera and have your camera going too. Okay, Julie says something. It went with my question about non-public compared to public members. Okay. All right. Oh, here's Hellcat, something. Casey Knight. Hellcat was absolutely amazing, but he has moved on to other areas of interest. Yeah, that's what I heard. But we can still watch his videos, right? Aren't they? They should still be up, and we can watch them and hear what he said, I think. And I'm pretty sure that's one of the good things I've been noticing for cameras. When people are interviewing someone else, you can hear them talk because they're near the microphone, but you can't necessarily hear the other person. Interesting. You think that was it? Okay. She said, Chris without a Hellcat was amazing, but was a major reason OSA stopped everyone from coming out of the blue building, because he got people to talk to him always at the blue building. I think it was a combination of the whole crowd, because there were a whole bunch of them. But I think I think you're right. It was a big part of it, but I don't think it was the only part of it. They definitely shut down the whole town. So that's why I say I don't think it's just him. Okay, Marina. I share the same sentiment regarding kindness and not yelling. Yeah, it's an individual thing, but for me, it never worked. You know, when I was in, it just never worked. So I try not to do it. I'm joining from Istanbul. All right. I just subscribed to your channel. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you did. You're welcome from Turkey. All right. Ukraine, Turkey. All right. All right. And here's Ozan. Hello. Okay. Cool. Kate says, okay, Tori, I will binge watch your old videos this weekend. Well, you don't have to, but if you can, you know, if you have time, it would help. It really would. It's all about watch hours. You need 5,000, okay, to watch hours per year to be monetized. Yeah, okay, and I think I have probably 25, maybe 30. So I need 20 more thousand. That's a lot of watch hours. But if you guys all watch, that'll help. Oh, thank you, Kate. I really appreciate it. If you guys do, that's what they said. If they, you know, you can just turn it on and leave it on, and it'll add up the hours. Narconon is a medication that saves people from overdosing. Okay. Okay. Narcan. Okay. Is a medication. I know. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm not for Narcan. I'm just saying Scientology will not be for it. Believe me on that. And it will just, it'll do the exact opposite. I mean, you can think, you could go, I mean, if you want, you could go to Narconon and talk to them about it and say, why don't you guys put this in? But I doubt if they will. They're nuts. You know, they if they had a successful program, more people would know about it. They don't. And a lot of people, unfortunately, at Narconon do drugs and sell drugs. Narcan versus the side effects of opiates. Exactly. I mean, it's a good thing. It's just I'm saying for them, they're really fishy on that kind of thing. Tori, if you could put all your videos in one playlist, people can just let them roll and we'll help you get more hours. I don't know how to do that. I really don't. I mean, thank you for the suggestion, but I have no idea how I would put all my videos playlist. Well, I'll try it. Maybe Bunker can help me. I'm teasing him worked so well because Aaron at the last party said, "Can you believe Tori Magoo beat you on live streaming?" And the next day he had up his first live streaming because he's helped me for years. Okay, STV is full. There's quite a large community of foreign students, okay, here in Edinburgh, who often have never heard of Scientology, and I often worry they'll be easily duped into joining. Well, if you can, go talk to them. You know, you can always ask the school if you can talk to them and educate them. That's what I would say. Here's a question from Kimberly. With the way C of S ideas and jargon have worked their way into society, do you think they have political goals beyond making money? If they have political goals, it's just to manipulate the politicians. You know, that's whatever. Like we used to get letters, vote for this, this, and this, and it was always people who supported Scientology. So that's the only thing they care about. I don't think they want to be politicians. No. Have you ever been to Turkey? All right. No, I have not. I've been to Norway. I've been to Ireland. Those are two of my favorite ones. I've been to Toronto, London. That was cool, going to London, England, and Canada. I think I said that with Toronto, yeah. So that's pretty much where I've been. I haven't been that far, that many places. But Turkey sounds, I've seen pictures, it looks cool. Narcan is a nasal spray. Okay. That can save the life of an opioid or overdose. You can get them for free. Wow. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for letting me know that, Kate. Where can you tell us where we get them for free? Thank you, Brian. I hope you have a great night's sleep or a great day, whichever it may be. And here's Marina. I use that story as an example when people criticize protesters for having too much fun and not protesting. Yeah. Oh, the one about the mother. Yeah. Good one. Good one. So you can always use my story. Use my story. I know a lady who was in for 30 years and finally woke up and thought she was just going to leave, and they canceled her van. They were at the LAX. They were in Chicago with her husband. They chased her across the country. The Tampa police got her out of the Tampa airport. You tell somebody that, and they're going to think about it, before they, it's not, they could say, oh, well, that's just one person. No, it isn't. Go online, go look around and find people that have escaped out. I mean, it's unbelievable. Scientology escapes, type it in. Okay, now love it. This is a question to love it. Is there a way you could please organize Tori's videos in a playlist so we can binge watch, get her watch hours up? Okay, good thinking. Well, we're going to see each other soon, so we'll see if we can do that. Ah, oh, really? I didn't know that, Hans. The U.S. does not believe in mind control, undue influence outside of business relations. No, I didn't know that. And see, this is another thing you could do for the future, because we're mostly taking questions, right? And so you could say, question, do you know that the US does not believe in mind control? You see what I mean? And then it still keeps it a question, because otherwise some of these things, like I would have missed a lot of these things. Kids working inside the oratory. I've heard that. Marina, I want you to give me some facts. If you've actually seen kids, how many kids, what age group are they? I really need that. I mean, we're looking in on this, and we're trying to find any of you. If you look around and you go by a Scientology thing and you see kids, which is, I would say, 18 or under, right? Don't you think? And if they're 18 or under, keep a little record of how many that you're actually seeing, because I don't think there's that many kids. I hope not. If there are, we have to do a major thing with the high schools and colleges and start speaking to them. So I need to know. I really do. I know that Serge and a few people talk about it, but I think they're talking about when they were in. I think I've got to find out from them. And I have not met Serge, I don't think. I think I met him once, but I haven't met him since I've been online on this. Aw, Janie, that's cute. Hi, Mr. Anona Moods. He says hi back. 129 likes. Okay, so we're at 153 in the house and 129 likes. So that the rest of you who haven't liked, just take a second and hit the like button, please. Okay, now wait, Nancy. Yeah, okay, good. So Marina agrees with Nancy. We've got to help that. I'm in Chicago. Yeah, you got to find out how many kids are actually going in there and what ages. Do you think John Travolta is a closet gay man as a positive reason why he isn't heard or seen much these days? I know he's a closet gay man, and he's not really even a closet because he's kissed his nanny out in public on the papers and stuff like that. But I don't think that's why he's not seen or heard. I mean, Scientology doesn't have any control over, the media and interviewing him or anything. I just think people get older, and then they, we were talking about Robert Redford, and just different people that we used to see him a whole lot, and you just don't quite see him as much as they get a little bit older. And that's what I think. I mean, if he comes out with a movie, which I think he is, then, then we'll see him again. But I don't think it's because he's gay, no, because a lot of the industry is gay, and there's not a problem there. Okay, so here's a question. Tori, were you aware of any past swatting or fire department calls from the CRS? I was not. I've never even heard of swatting until Christmas of 2023. Just like a few months ago. I never heard of it. I didn't even know it happened. Now I found out it happens in the gaming industry, so that's another thing. I didn't know that. I just didn't. I hadn't. It's an area it's brand new to me. And seeing DOA and having them be nice to him up in Sacramento, oh my God. Jamie says, thank you. To love it. You're amazing. And she is. She really is. She's quite an astounding person. 22 of you could go dancing on the like button. There you go. I like that. There you go. That's good. Thank you. 22, go dancing on the like button. Yeah. Do it. Yeah, it's hard to get the parents to listen, even with a kind voice. That I hear. I do. I really hear that. It's tricky, because parents are parents and Scientologists are Scientologists, and they're saying to the parents, we can help you with your kids. And parents, being parents, you're sort of like, anything that'll help me with my kids. So I can see where it would be attractive. And it's tricky to say. I mean, it would be different if you had something else that they could go to, to kind of learn a different group that wasn't so culty like. But they were, poke around on the internet, on Google, and just see if you can find somewhere in Chicago where they, let me just check, where they help. Okay, good. I can unplug it. There we go. All right, hang on. I'm going to just see. Because this always happens to me after we hang up and I think, oh, I should have said. All right, I'm going to say it right now. Are there any organizations in Chicago that can help parents that are not the Church of Scientology? Yeah, there are. There has been a no, I don't want that. No. Okay, I think you're gonna what you'll have to do is vary the question. This is the tricky thing with Scientology now. Whenever you enter the word Scientology, then that's all that comes up. So you can ask it without the word Scientology. Let's just see. I'll just check. In Chicago, are there any area groups that will help parents?
According to Rush University Medical Center, The Answer Inc. is dedicated to providing support, resources, education, recreation, and advocacy for families in the greater Chicago area who care for family members with autism and developmental disorders. Parents Care and Share offers free weekly support group meetings for children, grandparents, and dads.
Parents Care and Share is one, and the other one is Rush University Medical Center, and they have stuff for parents. But you can just keep asking Google. I don't want to take up these guys' time, but just keep asking Google, because you'll find there's other groups, and they're see if you like them. And if you like them, you can go to the Chicago thing and say, look, this thing is a cult. Do you know what I mean? Then I would say it is a cult. I would say this is an organization designed to take your money. That's what L. Ron Hubbard said in 1947. If you want to start a religion, if you want to make money, start a religion. That's a quote from L. Ron Hubbard. So say, here's an alternative, and have something printed out on a card, like I said, because then they'll take it and say, this is an alternative, and have a few different places that they could go and get some help. That's what I would do. That would definitely help. Okay, and this is Winston saying they 8C them when they take them in. 8C is where they just basically body route you. They physically go, come on with me, we're going over here. And they just move you in. But my thing would be, you'd have to get them before Scientology got to them to do their 8Cing. You know what I mean? And, and you could just start going around Chicago talking to different parents and get a card printed out with alternative solutions, and just say, look, I want to make sure you don't get into Scientology. I have friends that were in it who were parents, and it doesn't really help, and it it takes a lot of your money and a lot of your time, and it won't help your kids. And they'll pretty much take the card. And anyway, that's my thing. All right, so here's something about the Norway deers are famous. That's why deer hunting is prohibited there. That's so sweet. I never saw a deer when I was over there. I was there. I went there for a week. We drove across the country. You know, the most amazing thing that I saw in Norway, the most amazing, besides everyone being so happy, because I'd never, ever seen any group of people where they were as consistently happy as these Norwegians were. I said to Andreas, these people are like on vacation. And he said, Tori, we take care of people from birth to death. So they don't have the problems that your country lives with. They don't have them. So anyway, that was that. But my most amazing thing besides the people was the grass growing on the roof. Long green grass. And I'd say to Andreas, stop, I got to take a picture. What is this? And he said, it's insulation. That's why they have it on the roof. It keeps the house warm. I thought, wow, now that's smart. They're very smart in Norway. Okay, so there you go. Freedom shouldn't cost $1 million. That sounds more like slavery. Exactly. Freedom shouldn't cost a dime. It's free, right? If you look up freedom, it shouldn't cost anything. You know, $1 million is ridiculous. I mean, and again, I only stayed because of the people. And I think people that are still in there are staying because of the people. And and I'm sure for them, because they're way older, I left when I was 53. Now I'm 76. But, you know, even at 53, it was a lot. It was to lose all my friends. But I just started getting out there and meeting people. And it was amazing how kind people were. It really was. It still is to me. It blows my mind. It really does. Look at how nice you guys are. All right. All right, here we go. Gay here and an SP. Thank you, Robert Sandy Beach. Cool. Congratulations on both of them. Tori just sent you a PayPal. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, Jamie. I do. Thank you. Oh, sweet. Okay, W. Jamie. I don't know if this is a communication or not, but maybe Jamie will. Okay. Okay, guys, binge watch for Tardy. Thank you, guys. You're so great. Okay, now here's something about Chris Without a Hellcat. Chris Without a Hellcat would always go to the blue building with one other person when the others would be at the testing center working on that. And he also caught a major person wanted by the FBI. Really? He did? Wow, good for him. Well, timing is everything. You know what I mean? Like me knowing Odo was timing. You know, it was years ago and they could talk to us then. They didn't have the no talking. I mean, which David Miscavige, if you or your minions are listening, is totally insane. It makes you look insane. You'll never look like a real religion. You're never going to win with that. Just so you know. Okay. Oh. Okay. Here's Sophie. Tori already has playlists. So many years of content. Okay. I'll still have Love It. Check it out. But thank you for pointing that out, Sophie. Okay. I appreciate that. All right. Okay, Janet. Did you travel much while you were in Scientology? Not really. I'd never left the country. Andreas couldn't believe it. He said, "How could you not leave America?" And I said, Andreas, I don't even have a passport." And he said, "How could you not have a passport?" Which my son explained to me, "Mom, you have to understand Europe is a lot like the America, where their countries are our states. So think of us going state to state if we had to have a passport for it. That's why he thinks it's how could anybody be anywhere without a passport? Because he travels all around Europe. That's what happened. But no, I didn't really because I was busy being a mother, working, and being a Scientologist. Those things. So that was pretty much my life. And we would go on little mini trips. That was our thing because we took a few big vacations, like a week or two, and we were just dead at the end. And we both agreed, they cost a lot of money. We're exhausted at the end. So we both said, why don't we just start doing little road trips, like mini road trips? So that's what we'd leave like Friday night or maybe Thursday, and we'd be there Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we'd come home. So it doesn't sound like much, but it's so delightful. It's so relaxing. We'd go up to Big Bear and stuff like that, drive up there, stay Friday night, stay in a cabin. Saturday, go out on the boat. We'd rent a boat, cruise around. Sunday, we'd go to the movies. Saturday night, we'd go out to dinner. We just had a good time. Then we'd come home. So for us, that worked for us. And it still does. I still like that kind of travel more than a big, long travel. It's just too much work. And I think the other way is easier and more affordable. Okay, so Scientology mainly wants to be left alone by governments. They get really whiny about government infiltrating with them trying to abuse people. Yeah, they do. That's right. That's what I was thinking when someone asked about politics. It's like, no, they don't. They want us to stay far, far away from them. They're the biggest government break-in ever. Was the thing where they broke in and the Guardian's office did, and 11 people went to prison for it. L. Ron Hubbard, typical as he is, threw his wife under the bus and said she did it when he wrote all the programs for it. So what a creep. Okay, this is a good thing from My Alaska. Be very cautious when giving Narcan. A lot of people wake up very angry. You stop their high, not understanding they were almost dead. Oh, I don't think take any medical advice from, study up on it if you're going to do it. If you're around anyone like that, hopefully you're not. But if you are, yeah, learn both sides of it. No, I don't. I mean, I have no idea, but I doubt it. I mean, why would they talk to her? I mean, they've got all these people protesting it. No. Okay, I should really ask Nancy Drew. She's physically there. Physically where? When you say there, you have to know. I have no idea what you're talking about. So let me know where and say it in a whole sentence. Nancy Drew is in New York. Nancy Drew is in Chicago. Wherever it is, let me know the whole sentence instead of Chicago. And then I'll be like, okay, Chicago what? Because see, you have to give me the whole sentence. All right, here we go. If I can't make breakfast in the morning, I will make an omelet and eat it. Kristen? Then I'll go to the beach and go for a run. Okay. All right. Do you have Scientology over there in Turkey? I hope not. God, that sounds awful. What got you interested in this group of people? I'm just curious. Question. If you could go back and never join Scientology, would you do it? Or do you cherish that your eyes were opened by the experience? P.S. Come to Scotland. Want to meet my YouTube grandma. I would love to come to Scotland. I would. I'm part Scottish. No, I would. I don't regret being in Scientology. 20 years of my 30 years were great. It was just the last 10 when I was on OT7 and it didn't work and I kept staying and I was doing OSA and it was just the last 10 years were a mess. But the first 20 years were great. I mean, a lot of it, what is the good part about it is the people and hope. We had a lot of hope that stuff was going to, but every time it didn't, we'd think, okay, the next thing will. That didn't either. And then when it doesn't work at all, that's when it's a real shock. Now, the fact that my husband stayed in it, I can't think with that. I can't, because the OT8s are really screwed up. I told you the person that corrected OT8 left and called me. And I said, okay, what happened that got you to leave? And she said, Tori, I saw so many people sick, OT8s sick, OT8s dead, or OT8s committed suicide. And she said, I just couldn't stay. And that's how I was. I saw so much darkness, I couldn't stay. It was like, that isn't what I got into Scientology for. And the same for her. So, and we had a great discussion about what causes all this illness. And that is really interesting. Okay, so you see 111 on the screen that have liked. Ooh, that's not good. There's 153 in the room, and you only see 111. Ooh, does anybody else see anything else? Yes, we can talk about the kids. I see at the Chicago org when I'm downtown. Oh, I see. That's what you're saying. I got you. Okay. All right. We'll keep track of them. Oh, love it. Now, love it said there's 160 likes. All right. That's better. Thank you. Well, thank you to each of you who hit the like button. And thank you, love it. Oh, this is cute. I like the older guy who told DOA yesterday that we pay taxes for the fake 911 calls. They, Scientology, don't. After Sacramento FD showed up for yet another fake 911 call. Yeah, I've been reminding them of that and saying need to, add up. I think we said it last night, add up how much money they're wasting doing these fake calls, because I think that's really going to hit home. I think that's a thing we could bring to the media and say they're doing these fake calls, every single time. It's like, oh, sorry, that was a fake call. No, look how much money is being wasted. I think that would go somewhere. I do. Okay. Okay, come to Istanbul, Turkey, because it has many historical places. Many tourists come in 2024, Tori Magoo 44. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not coming to Turkey, ever. So I have like 100 other countries that I want to go to. But thank you for the invitation. But that's not going to happen. And that's just all there is to it. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. And there you go. I want to go see many, many other places first. I'm a social worker and I have many resources for parents. Oh, good. Nancy Drew. Okay. All right. Nancy Drew says to Marina. All right. Good. Ah, see? Egert. Ah. So nice to wake up here in Norway and watch your stream in the morning. Ah. Did you see Mr. Anonymous from Norway? He's my guy. See, he's got the Norwegian thing on. Let's see if you can see it. Norway. Yep. See, there you go. Norway. He's my Norwegian buddy. He's pretty famous too. Okay, my grandparents also went to Norway a long time ago. They say exactly the same words as you. Wow. I know it's interesting. I've talked to a lot of people who've traveled all around the world, and all of them say, the last place we went was Norway because, most people thought, who wants to go to Norway? And they said, shockingly, it's our favorite place on all the places we went all around the world. A lot of people told me that. And I understand it. Okay, Nancy Drew, that is great that you can help Marina. That'll be really great. That's a nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you ask for it at the pharmacy if somebody needs it. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, okay. Tori, W stands for win. When a person donates money or gives to the creator streamer, you will see W's in the chat for that person. You will see a lot of W's when you are monetized. Ah, that's nice. Well, thank you for explaining that. I would have never known that, Casey. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ah, Janie, that's a nice thing. She said to love it. It's my honor to support Tori. Thank you. I'm trying. I am. All right, now let's see. Oh, Joe. Okay. She said she's just stopped sleeping in more after having my surgery. Missed you a few times now whilst you're actually live. Well, that you can just go to the live button and then you can see all it isn't live, but it's still the same talk. You know what I mean? So you can go you might miss it live, but you can still see it. Oh, I see. You're saying actually live. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so Nancy Drew is in Chicago, where the ideal org with kids is. Oh, God. I wish I was there. The interesting thing is, I can see where, it's just interesting because my L. Ron Hubbard says hello to Wing and Smokey Angel and Flo and Paul Bazazian, which is my husband's parents, on on the briefing course tapes and on the academy tapes. And Flo wrote him and said, why did you mention us amongst all the people that were there? And he said, because you kept Scientology alive in Chicago for me. And so it's just ironic that they did, really get it started and kept it going. And then now here I am, Harold's ex-wife, the big SP, but I don't want parents to get suckered into it. I mean, he should know that. OT8 does not work. He knows that. I mean, you can be OT8 and think, well, it's just me, but it isn't. Here's the deal. It isn't. Almost every OT8 is screwed up. So just get a grip and get out, because you don't need to stay there and give them your life. Okay, 161. All right. 160 likes. And then here's one saying 161. Okay. And yay. Oh my God. It's true. Question, Tori. Why do you think so many OT8 AIDS are sick or commit suicide. Different talk, different night. I will do it, but it's a kind of an extensive thing to go over, and we've been on for 2 hours now, so I'm not going to start it up now. 10 more but I'll write it down and I will take it up. 10 more likes than people. Take that. There you go. And see, I think that could be people in Scientology listening in. And you know what? You guys, the way out is the nearest door. It is. Hubbard used to say the way out is the way through. No, it isn't, because we know it doesn't work for OT8s. So it can't be the way out is the way through, because otherwise they'd be doing great. And they're not. And OT7s weren't doing great. And they're not. All right. Oh, wait. Sounds a little like Peggy Lee's song, in that all there is, my friend, then let's start dancing and send in the clowns, if that's all there is. Well, sounds a little like the Peggy Long. Start dancing and send in the clowns. Are you talking about protesting or in Scientology? Because they're both different, and I haven't said that. I'm not saying that it's a bunch of clowns, although it does sort of seem like a clown car, and we kind of joke about that because, what are they doing? But yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, start dancing, and you might as well. It's like your life. I say your life rolls on. Don't miss it. Because you can miss it. Doing what? Going clear? No, it's not going to work. There aren't any clears. So I'm not sure what the it is. It sounds a little bit like, are you referring to the protesting or to being in Scientology, RB? Why RB? And have you ever been, oh, I'm not going to keep answering you on that on Istanbul. I already told you no, and I'm not going there. You can be watching me from the moon, and I'm not going to Turkey. It's just not an area. I have like many, many countries that I want to go to before I go anywhere else. I want to do these other countries first. Sophie says, I'm good about yourself. Okay, she's saying that to Marina. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. To have a cup of coffee. Exactly. Coffee and Tori. A good time to wake up to. Ah, nice, Hans. I've got to add that thing of, like, there's a thing about getting a cup of coffee too, which I thought was good. Norwegian Moose, I know. Isn't he cute, Mr. Anonymous? He is. And thank you, Tabitha. My moosies greet your moose. Aww. Oh, here we go. Alaska moose are better. Sorry. Not better than Norway. No way. Anyone can make an Everything Tory personal playlist and run it on repeat when you leave the house. Hey, there you go. That's good. I like that one. That's going to bring up the hours. Good. Thank you. Is Marty Rathman back in the church? That's a good question. I have no idea. I know that his wife was suing the church. She was about ready to win and get David Miscavige in court, which would have been fabulous. And then, boom, they were paid off and vanished and bought a $500,000 house. So were they paid off? I'm pretty sure they were. Did they go back to the church? That I don't know. He did turn on Tony and a few other people, but I think that was part of the deal. It was like, we're going to give you this money, but you've got to also, say whatever they wanted him to say. But it's not true. Tony's a really good person, and we're lucky to know him, Tony Ortega. Anyone can make an, oh yeah, that's good. There's 169 likes. All right. Good to know. Okay. And I think YRB is asking this question. There were our children's voices in the AOLA having a party. Oh, gross. Last Friday when the adults were doing their graduation thing. Really? Oh man, YRB, I didn't know you were here in LA. That's good to know. I didn't know that. You have to come out with us and protest. I didn't know that. That's pathetic. Okay, so here's a question. And information on Michael Pattinson. I just picked up on him and believe he did pass away in 2019. He did. He's the gay person that I was talking about that spent over $1 million trying to handle his being gay and get fixed. And he was a great guy. He was a sculptor and a wonderful man, and it was really too bad. And he passed away way too early. I think in his 50s. He was a young man. I mean, relatively young. That's may seem old to some youngsters, but it's not really. It's pretty young to die. My dad died at 51. It was very young. Ah, thank you. I'm going to put this up there because it's just sweet she said it. Thank you. Oh, and here's Chi. Did you hear me, Chi, last night? Did you hear me on the megaphone? If you listen to the video from last night, I was on it saying the way out is the near and a couple other things. We were right by a door, it turned out, but you couldn't tell. It was sort of like they had tried to turn it into something else, and so I'd go like this: "Open the door." You can hear him kind of freak out behind it. Oh, good, you heard me. I'm so happy you were able to use it. Yeah, it was really fun. It was funny because when I was coming down the way to use it, I tried it at home and I could do it. But then I tried it on the way and it would just play that siren. And that was kind of funny too, because it's like I knew they were on course right next to me. And it was going like, wow, wow. So I finally asked Jessica. I sat down and she came up and I said, "Do you know how to get this so that I can just talk in it?" And of course she did. She knows how to do everything. So anyway, she helped me with it. Aha, cute moose. Sadly, no mooses where I live. I have the deep fjords. Ooh, that's nice. Mountains and reindeers instead. Oh, that's wonderful though. Norway's so pretty. I mean, I always tease the people in Norway and in Monterey, Carmel, Monterey, in that area. And I say, you guys both, if there is a heaven, you're gonna walk. Is it? This is really heaven? Because you guys are living in heaven. It's just incredible. All right, so this is, oh, where's it going? No, this was what I was looking at. Yes, I heard you. I'm so happy you were able to use it. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Okay, Alaska's very much the same. The deer there are very small. Interesting. You wouldn't think that. Yeah, Rathbun is a special case. I don't know how special he is, but I don't think he's back in the church. I don't. I just realized that I'm 15 minutes behind. Well, at least you realized it. My megaphone does that too. Oh, where you have the siren accidentally pressing the siren button is like a double shot of espresso to the body. It is. But it was really funny being right next to the course rooms. It's like I knew they were like, "What's going on here?" It's funny. Okay. Oh, here you go. You forgot the mosquitoes. Ooh. We had mosquitoes in Chicago. I hated mosquitoes. Okay, so I think we are at the end. Uh-huh. Thank you for all your support. And I say the same. Thank you guys all for your kindness and your support. Okay, and here's someone saying there's no mosquitoes bothering me here, but while traveling in Drammen a few years ago, we got literally, ooh, I know that expression, eaten alive. It's true. It really is. It's awful. Well, anyway, you guys, thank you for a wonderful night. We got the likes up. Thank you on that. We got a plan for listening. That's wonderful. Mosquitoes are our state bird. That's what the Alaska said. No, namaste, my Alaska said. Good night to all of you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for making it a wonderful night. It turned out good, didn't it? I think it worked out really well. All right. Good night, everyone. Time to binge watch Tori. All right, there we go. We're going to put that up there. Oh, there you go. All right. Okay, so good night, all of you. Thank you for being so kind. And have a wonderful Friday. It's Friday now. So have a wonderful Friday. Okay, I love you all. Bye-bye.